Rock's Xebec just walked through hell and laughed in the face of its demons. One Piece, chapter 1162, throws us into pure chaos. Emu's wrath begins, the holy knights crumble, and the legends of the old era stand against the world itself. This chapter is packed with lore, emotional moments, and insane reveals, from Kaido's first devil fruit to the tragic story of Blackbeard's parents. So let's break down everything that happened in God Valley Battle Royale. The chapter opens with the cover story conclusion of Yamato's adventure. Kaido's kid is living peacefully in Wano, alongside Momonosuke, Kinemon, and Ulti, something unheard of in Wano's history before Luffy's arrival. Throughout this 44-part cover story, we saw a who's who defeated Ulti in page 1, pledging loyalty to Yamato, and even Gecko Moria revealed as a member of the Kozuki clan. It's a neat wrap-up, but compared to other cover stories, it's not exactly the most exciting one. Still, it sets a calm tone right before the chaos of God Valley begins. On God Valley, things are exploding, literally. The Marines report that Rock's Xebec himself is clashing with the leader of God's Knights, St. Figurlin Garling. That's right, the so-called Divine Knight of the Celestial Dragons is being pushed to his limits. Backup is requested, which already says everything about their faith in their leader's strength. Even the Marines know he's outmatched. At the same time, we get a quick layout of the battlefield. The Rock's pirates, Roger pirates, and Marines are all scattered across the island, and Roger realizes they're trapped between two massive forces. So he sends Rayleigh off with Shaky while he stays behind to face the chaos head on. Classic Roger, always protecting his crew first. Meanwhile, in the treasure store room, Ivankov, Ginny, and the others are stealing devil fruits. They don't even know what each fruit does. They're just desperate to grab anything useful. But out of nowhere, Big Mom smashes through a wall and attacks a child to steal their power. Yeah, Linlin is absolutely feral here. When she tries to take Kuma's fruit next, Kuma immediately eats it to save himself. The birth of the Paw fruit user, Ivankov celebrates, realizing that saving even one person from this hellhole is already a victory. Big Mom, on the other hand, is furious, and we know what happens when she gets mad. As the Marines scramble, Stussy's mowing down soldiers, and Barbell is tanking attacks left and right. But then, something shocking happens. Kyo gets kicked in the face by someone who looks exactly like Marco the Phoenix. But how? Marco should be just 7 years old at this point. Could it be that his mythical Phoenix fruit allows true resurrection? Maybe this is a Marine who died at God Valley and was reborn, later adopted by Whitebeard. If that's true, Oda's playing 5D chess with this timeline. Elsewhere, Garp and Sengoku are running through the battlefield, witnessing the horror of the Celestial Dragon's actions firsthand. They see piles of civilian corpses and realize the Celestial Dragons are massacring innocent people for sport. Sengoku admits that he once heard rumors about this madness, but didn't believe it. Now it's undeniable. The gods of the world are monsters. And though Garp is furious, he'll still serve these same people for decades after this day, which adds a whole new layer of tragedy to his character. Back with Rocks, he's fighting with his wife Eris in his arms while surrounded by the terrifying Devi clan, the ancestors of Blackbeard. These so-called divine knights have transformed into demonic serpents serving Imu. Rocks, even with one hand occupied, is absolutely dominating. He slices through Garling, the leader of God's Knights, twice in mere minutes. For all their divine hype, the Holy Knights are getting embarrassed with no fruit and pure hockey. Rock's Xebec proves here that he's one of the most terrifying humans to ever live. A man who truly challenged the gods. Eris, realizing the danger of their situation, forces Rocks to let her go. She refuses to be protected while he fights. She declares that if things get too bad, she'll kill both herself and their son before letting the Celestial Dragons torture them. Her courage is unmatched, and this confirms that Eris is Blackbeard's mother. She tells Rocks they'll meet again on Lelucia Island, the same island Imu later destroys in modern times. This woman's story is pure tragedy. Eris isn't just a side character. She's one of the most badass women in One Piece history. Then comes one of the biggest moments in the chapter. Big Mom's attempt to claim a mythical zone fruit for Katakuri, but as she celebrates her find, Kaido snatches it out of midair and eats it himself. And just like that, Kaido gets his dragon fruit. Big Mom is furious, but Kaido's grin says it all. Destiny chose him. Fans even noticed his face mirrors his original shadowed silhouette, making this reveal even more poetic. As chaos consumes the island, Dragon runs off with baby Shanks, while Aerith escapes with baby Teach. Garp is still struggling to process the horror when Saint Saturn contacts Emu, reporting that things are spiraling out of control. Emu demands to know if Rox is dead, and when Saturn hesitates, Emu's rage shakes the heavens. The sky darkens. A monstrous figure appears. Emu has fused with Saint Santer's demonic spider body. The haki radiating from this being is enough to freeze even the strongest men. Roger, Whitebeard, and Garp all stop in their tracks. The real battle for the soul of the world has begun. In the final pages, we witness the ultimate image. Rox D. Xebec standing alongside Whitebeard and Kaido facing the embodiment of evil itself. Whitebeard asks what they're even fighting anymore, and Rox answers with the line of the chapter, "We're fighting the world itself." Roger smiles, watching the chaos unfold. The three strongest men of their era, Rox, Whitebeard, and Kaido, against Emu, the living god of the world. It's the ultimate showdown. Man versus God, freedom versus control. And that's where chapter 1162 ends. Garling is humiliated, Kaido awakens as a dragon, Emu descends, and the truth of God Valley begins to unfold. Oda's cooking at a whole new level right now. Every chapter feels like a mini movie.